How's it going, everybody out there? To make a little video. It won't be anything long. I just wanted to say a couple of things that was on my mind that I felt I needed to say, that I felt would be beneficial to a lot of people. And that's one of the things I feel God wants us to do. That if it's something on our mind that we think is going to help somebody be a better person, it's our job to actually bring it to the light. So that's what I want to do, okay? And you can take it to the heart, you can listen, or you can ignore it. It's up to you. But I felt the need to say it, and since I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna get it off my shoulders, and it won't be on my back for not saying it. Okay. People make us upset. They make us angry, okay? And it's only natural that we get mad. It's only natural that retaliation is one of the only things that come to mind. When someone upsets you, you curse them, you get angry, you want to get violent. Okay? This is the ungodly thing to do. Okay? Jesus, when he was born, we all know the story that he's God in the flesh. You know, the whole time when he came up, when he grew up and was teaching the gospel, at any time he could have easily told God, hey, strike down these Romans for beating on me or for tormenting me, but he didn't. Because it's obvious that Jesus didn't believe in violence. So I think that we should follow in the same path as not supporting or believing in violence as well, or retaliation. Now, it might sound crazy, and the only reason that it sounds crazy is because you and me were all born into a world where retaliation is normal, okay? We were all born into it. This is why we say we're born into sin, number one. So, that being said, when a person upsets you, what do you do? Okay. The first thing that I'm not gonna lie, you know, when someone makes me mad, even now, I mean, I can't promise you that the first thought in my head isn't an angry thought. It probably is, but I think I'm smart enough now not to bring that thought into action, not to bring it into reality, but to keep it to myself and to say a prayer on it. Like, if someone makes me mad, you know, let's just say this was a year ago. If somebody made me mad or something, I probably would have went off on them or popped them or something like that. And I look back on it now and I'm like, I can't believe that's how I handled my situations. As you've heard millions and millions of times, violence doesn't solve anything. Violence just creates more violence, and that's true. Okay? But we live in a world where they promote violence. And when there's promotion of violence, people are going to be violent. We don't live in a world where they promote forgiveness. Okay? And that's something that God promotes. And that's very, very important. Okay? So, let's take a scenario. Let's just say someone upset me. And you know what? I'm not gonna take a scenario. I'm gonna take a real situation that happened to me a few months ago. Okay? I'm not gonna say any names, but I know some people probably know what I'm talking about. Very, very few people. I don't expect everybody to know. Okay? Let's just say somebody lied on you. What would you do? The first thing you do is get upset because number one, you know it's a lie. And your personality, your character, your reputation is very important to you. And it's very important that people know the truth. And when someone tries to taint it, you get mad, you get upset, right? And the first thing that comes to mind is retaliation. Because pride is something that we feed off of, most of us. So someone lied on me, told a lie on me that wasn't true, and I got mad, very mad. I was smart enough, though, at the time not to act on it because I knew in the back of my head that, okay, it's okay. Because everything in the dark comes to the light. I knew that much. And around the time this happened, I was not saved. But I had enough sense to know that being violent would not solve this situation. Anyway, I was lied on. So I, in private, I got mad. And it helped a lot to talk to people about the situation. And the more I talked to people, the more I felt better. I calmed down a little bit. The good thing about it is the lie didn't affect me. It ended up bouncing off of me. I guess because this lie that was told on me was so irrelevant of the type of person that I am that it was just unbelievable. And I can see if I had a history of lying or something or being untruthful, then maybe it would have stuck a little bit, but it didn't. A couple months later, and then ended up coming back on this person. And hey, I can't I can't say that I felt sorry for him, but I will admit for a long time that I was upset and angry, and it wasn't until recently I forgave this person. And the moment I forgave this person, things started turning around. This person tried to come around a little bit more. An apology was never given to me, which I would have accepted, and that's all I really wanted was an apology. And you never know how far an apology will go. But I'm going to tell you right now that an apology would have went a long way with me. It would have went a long way. It really would have. But I never got it. And I think that's why I hung on to it for so long. And I started realizing that I was angry at this person. I had no remorse for this person. And it wasn't until not long ago I sat down and realized, Derek, you're hating somebody of the heart. That is a sin. And it hit me like a bus. I sat down, asked for forgiveness, and I asked the Lord to make my heart pure to forgive this person for this devious act. And it took a lot out of me. And I swallowed my pride, which was a tough pill, and forgave this person. It's like a weight lifted off my shoulders now that I've done that. And I don't feel animosity anymore. I don't feel angry anymore. I feel good. I feel like I'm at peace right now. Um, and it wasn't a violent outcome, and I'm happy about that. Honestly, I've never really been a violent person. But if it was always if it's a situation that ever came up, and if I had to, then whatever happened happened. But now, even now, if a situation came on apart at bay, I wouldn't be violent because that isn't the way Jesus was. That's not the way God intended us to be. But that's the way we are. That's the way the devil wants you to be. Okay, you're being the way the devil wants you to be. If you retaliate, if you handle situations, petty situations that can be resolved with just sitting there talking to somebody, if you resolve petty situations that way with violence, you're doing what the devil wants you to do. And you can take that however you want. That is not God-like. Okay? It is the devil's job to destroy and break down God's people. And that is exactly what he's doing right now. If you can't forgive somebody, you are hating them in your heart, and that is a sin. And I was guilty of that, and I admit that because I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be perfect, but I can tell you this. I have turned away from a lot of bad habits that I do not intend on going back to, and I feel awesome. Okay? Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I can't describe the feeling that I have right now, just right now. I'm happy. Whether or not you see that on my face or not, I'm happy. You can believe that. So I just want to tell everybody out there that if you have a situation with somebody, before you jump off the handle, think about another way to solve that situation. Who cares what anybody thinks of you? Who cares what anybody says about you? Whether or not you choose to handle a situation with violence or not, it's up to you. And if you don't decide to use violence, so what anybody says about you? So what? Are they your judge? Did they create you? If Is it going to really affect you that much? Is your reputation that important? Is your reputation more important than pleasing God? Ask yourself that question. And if it's not, swallow your pride. Let it go. Because remember this. Let me tell you this, and you're going to like this. If you let a situation go in God's hands, God will take your revenge for you and punish the one who has hurt you because you did what he asked to do. And that's exactly what happened in my situation. I did not retaliate. I left it up to God, and he handled it. I'm not going to speak on the situation anymore. I'm just going to say that's what happened. And I just want to tell everybody that that's what you need to do. And God, and sometimes God allows you to see him in the work, in the act of actually taking your revenge on the person who hurt you, or lied on you, or provoked you, or whatever. That's all I'm trying to say. Because as I said in my status last night, God is not only a loving God, but he is a God of wrath. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that you can just do whatever you want to do and say God loves me. Yes, he loves you. But what do you do to a child who's disrespectful or disobedient? You spank them, right? This is a form of, so to say, to teach them a lesson, to not do it again. God's the same way, okay? And we may spank our children out of love. God may actually show wrath out of love to teach us a lesson, to teach us not to do certain things. So don't ever forget that, okay? Let him fight your battles for you. You handle situational violence, what happens? One, you fight, what gets solved? Nothing. Animosity builds up. You fight again. It's like a never-ending cycle. Devil, at work, you solve a situation with violence. You go to jail. Nothing gets solved. Devil, at work. You fight. You solve a situation with violence. Someone is killed. Your life's over. Devil at work. So you've heard this as a child. You heard this come out of my mouth that violence doesn't solve anything. Yeah, it might sound like an after-school special, but it's the truth, okay? Take it to the heart. Stop solving your situations with violence. It's not going to help you. You may think it may help your reputation, but it ain't going to help your reputation with God, and it's not going to give you the key to heaven. Remember that. Stay blessed. Handle your situations with your brain that God gave you, okay? Think about what you do before you do it. You were taught this as a child. You know right from wrong. So before you go out today, tell yourself, if I find myself in a situation, God, give me strength to overcome it and fight my battle for me. God bless you all. I love you. And I pray for everybody. Hope you all do the same for me. And I hope to speak with you all soon. Peace.